Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am actually going to be sharing more signs that your manifestation is close or birds before land because I myself have been having so many of them since my last video, and I felt that it's really important to share them because it's validating, but not in an external way. It should be internally validating. It should show you how powerful you are, that you have created this and your own affirmations are created by you. How cool is that? Before I get into this video, I wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who is following my channel, new to my channel, which is just about everyone. So thank you so much for, engaging with my videos. I appreciate all the comments. I've been really excited to read them, and I can't wait to see you guys in the future videos. But I do have one very serious thing to address, that I did mention my dog in my previous video, and I did not show you guys my dog, so I will remedy that now. Okay, watch. Okay. Took him a minute to get his confidence up, but this is Abrachi. He's my hairy, hairless, Chinese crested, who doesn't want to look at the camera. Look, no, up there. He's like, I don't see it. He has, I don't know, people often don't know a whole ton about the breed, and I'm not going to make a whole video on him, but he's partially hairless. He has no hair on his belly. It grows predominantly down his spine, and then it thins out as it gets down his sides. I keep him in a pony cut so I can see this cute little face, and just for various reasons. But he will be, oh my gosh, of course now my cat is like, excuse me, you're leaving me out. There's no more room on my lap. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if you can hear him yelling at me. But Abrachi will be doing this video with me now. Okay, so going back to birds before land. Immediately my brain was like, oh, we should get into the processing centers, and I could. The only reason that I hesitated was because I don't have the terminology, like the scientific terminology handy, and you know what, even if I was going to talk about it, I still probably wouldn't be referring to that. So I'm going to give you the very short version, is that the way that our brain works is it perceives like any and everything that is happening around us or in our environment, and it doesn't make us aware of all of those things because we literally couldn't handle it. So like being overstimulated, that's just like a small percentage or a small reason why our brain isn't showing us everything. So this is where, what's it called, like the yellow car, the blue car phenomenon comes from. Hi. That once you start thinking about a yellow car, it's not necessarily that more yellow cars are showing up in your reality. It's that your brain is perceiving them and actually showing you that there were yellow cars, where before it may have just not had you notice them and they could have been all around you. It's kind of a really fascinating thing to think about, that our brain can literally make us blind to things, but I feel like in ways we know this to be true. We just haven't thought about it on such a large scale. So whatever we are concentrating on, our brain is going to filter out the things that it says, oh, this is no longer important, and these things will be filtered through because they are now important, just about as important as Abrachi being petted for the entirety of this video. So that all goes on, like you can look up videos where people explain this in depth, in very scientific terms. This is my short version, because I want you to know how powerful you are, that your brain can literally choose your perceptions. Of course, now are you like maybe asking the question of, well, are you saying that my manifestation exists and my brain's just filtering that my reality is different? No, not necessarily. So like when it comes to people, yes, to a certain degree, but no to an extreme degree, right? Like there are things that we still have to create in our reality, but when it comes to small everyday signs like a yellow butterfly or a bluebird, it's probably more readily available, and our brain is just going to start looking for it. But now that I'm saying that, it's like I can see how when it's not available to our brain, we manifest it into our reality. So, interesting. I'm having a revelation as I record this video. I'm going to move on from that. So, because I wanted to get into some of the ways that our brain is going to start looking for our manifestation. So this is when you can feel that things have really clicked for you. When you have convinced your brain that your new story is real, it will start seeking out those things, or it will start playing it back to you. There was one time when I very first learned about the law of assumption. It was like, yeah, if you want a partner, you just assume that you already have one. And I was like, I feel like I've told this story to some degree. It just felt kind of embarrassing. I was like, people are going to know that I'm totally delusional in my own head and I'm just pretending I have a boyfriend and I don't. But I decided to try out the law of assumption. This was a year ago. And I caught myself one day. I went to do something and my brain was just like, oh, your boyfriend would maybe not appreciate that. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. But then I was like, wait a minute, I don't actually have a boyfriend. But my brain was like, what do you mean? You've been talking about him. So that's just kind of one example of your brain starts to click into the new story and it will start to reach for the storyline. It's much like a bracci reaches for my hand to be petted. See, look, you are so helpful. Yes, you are. You're such a helpful boy. He's like, I know this. I don't know why you haven't been including me in my previous videos. So, enough being distracted by my dog. Just kidding, it's going to happen like a million times. So, moving on, what I've been noticing for myself recently, I was about to say is only and mostly electronic, but that's not true. I took a small road trip, like an hour away, to try a new hike with one of my friends, and we both have, I feel like I just told this story, oh my gosh, I make videos on my Patreon too, so it may have been in there. If I'm repeating myself, oh well, it fits. So we both have, we're both working on relationships in terms of manifestation. We are developing relationships through manifestation, and there were so many, like the names of our people that we have going on in the different levels of relationship, because it's not necessarily all romantic, right? But like all these people's names showing up everywhere. I was on streets, I was like, I've never heard a street named this before, and I was hitting like 3 of them with this person's name in it, and I was like, I've never heard this name in a street. What is going on? There were Mack trucks driving past us that like the name was in the town that they came from. It was really interesting. It was fun to see. But one thing that I noticed was I've been affirming communication for myself, because that is something that I have a lot of fears around when it comes to like electronic communication. So I've been affirming consistency in that communication, and I was on TikTok the other day, I think it was just yesterday, and like, I don't know if you have TikTok, when you go into your notifications, it shows everyone's like little circular profile icon next to their name. So next to your notifications, you have like all these different people, whether they like to comment or saved your video or whatever. Didn't show enough attention to their dog. And my brain at first glance kept putting this, my specific person's like social media icon on all these people, and it was like, oh, it's this person, oh, it's this person, oh, it's this person. And I was like, my brain kept saying, oh, look, it's him, oh, look, it's him. And I was like, it's not. I didn't affirm it's not, but I recognized that it very much was not, and that every little thing it saw, it was like, oh, it's it. Like, it was just recognizing him everywhere. And I was like, interesting, because my brain is now seeking to create the reality that I have been telling it exists. And when I just persist in this reality is going to actually create. So now this just happened yesterday, and I don't really have more of an example for you, since I haven't been out and about too much today, except that like I'm getting all these crazy Facebook ads that are all related. I'm telling you, places I have never heard of before have this person's name in it. And it's like, find this person's name in your area. And I'm like, this is so crazy. This can also look like, if it's not a specific person, maybe it's a job or you're waiting on an important email, you could start seeing things around the internet or even in your email where your brain is like, oh, this is that acceptance letter, or oh, this is that job offer, or oh, this is that correspondence that we were waiting for. Because it's happening, because your brain believes the story. So these are validating signs that you are in the desired state, that your state is indeed manifesting, and your reality is rendering. It is rendering. So it is happening, and it is only a matter of time, if you continue to persist and maintain your energetic state, that you will see the full manifestation show up. Abrachi, should we tell the story about how you manifested me? Because I don't think I manifested you. I think you manifested me. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. He's like, I don't care as long as you keep petting me. What was interesting about this dog was, talk about birds before I land. Okay. Before I move on to my dog, one last thing that I had written down was that maybe you've considered dyeing your hair, but you haven't fully been able to commit to it. And you're like, oh, like, I just wonder what it would look like. And then you take a photo with some friends, and for whatever reason, the lighting was off and your hair looks like that color. You can see my natural color. There's a picture from like years ago where my hair looked like lighter blonde than this. And it was this color. And it was just the way that the lighting was. My entire head of hair, because I had a lot more hair than this, looked white blonde. And I was like, I always knew that this color would look good on me. And then one day I actually dyed it that. So there's just so many different signs of you starting to, or creating, and it's in the initial stages of rendering into your desired reality. So when you see synchronicities too, synchronicities are you validating yourself if you believe in them to whatever. So it could be like numbers, sequences, it could be spirit animals, it could be my cat on the counter. Okay, had to give my cat some love. Oh, he's coming back. No, baby. So, too many distractions now. Okay, so, gave the cat some love, got him situated, and I would like to move into the story of my dog. I'll give a quick one. He's watching my cat sniff a pear, and he's like, is he gonna try and eat it? So when I was getting ready to move into from a rental apartment into a rental home with a friend, she was talking about getting a dog and how she wanted to get a puppy in this new house because it had a yard, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds so cute. And I was visualizing her with this puppy, and I was like, I kind of want one, but I had 2 cats at the time, and I was like, it just sounds like a lot. And I internally wanted one. I had the desire, but I had all these doubts. And so I started manifesting in situations to help me overcome the doubt. And I actually don't know what came first now that I think about it. All I know is that I think that before that chain of events, what came was I was going through a really tough time. And I was just like processing some things that were coming to light. It was very dark, and as much as I was handling things, I was like, I just need something to look forward to. I just need something nice in my life. And I started seeing visually, like in my mind's eye, this little tiny puppy would look like him, and he was saying, come find me, come find me. And I was like, this is crazy. I had never had like visions like this before. And so I got online, and eventually I find his posting from his breeder, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the dog, because there are a couple other dogs where I was like, oh, maybe this is it, and it kind of seemed like maybe it was, but then the energy wasn't completely accurate. Sorry, my cat's like doing cat things, trying to push everything off the counter. So I had to go back to my intuition and be like, is this energy lining up with this anyway? So I would see him, and basically he drew me through this process of actually manifesting my dog into reality, and yeah, here he is. And so that's kind of the cool thing. I guess I should make a separate video on this, but when you are manifesting something that has to do with another soul, now animals are tricky because to a certain degree a soul will embody an animal, and at varying degrees and at varying times. For example, I used to have reptiles, and some of them were just reptiles with like the basic level of consciousness for their animal, and then others of them would have a stronger consciousness come through for a more deep connection, and to pass on messages at times. So, and I've had pets that were like, you know, basic level, and my pets right now are a little bit higher than that. There's nothing wrong with basic level. It's not an insult at all. It's just, it depends on the soul's desire for the degree that they're going to embody that body. So, that being said, animals and people have souls to varying degrees, right, within their respective degrees. And when you are in manifestation with another conscious being, it can be like a two-way street of you manifesting each other, and sort of being given the idea or the spark of inspiration. I think what I've witnessed with myself is that the beings that want to come into my life have planted the seed and then gotten me to manifest our union. But I really feel like they sort of chose me on some level, and then I agreed to it on a level I wasn't conscious of, and then my human consciousness, human awareness kind of pulled myself into that. Like I said, I should make a longer video because I feel like that didn't even scratch the surface. If you want to hear more about that, let me know in the comments. I'm going to wrap this up by saying that these signs, the whole birds before land, signs that your manifestation is coming, are not signs that your manifestation isn't here. They are signs that it is here. It's rendering, that's it. So these are ripples of your power. So recognize your power. I know it's so easy to give these signs away to external factors, but you are the universe, you are God, you are spirit, you are creator, you embody the creator energy. Oh my God, I love him so much. So step into that, really let that empower you and like get you going, let it be inspiring. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Honestly, my dog, between my dog and my cat sending me so much love right now, I can only hope that this video came out right, because my brain is just so like in awe and gratitude of them and their presence. Yeah, so thank you so much for staying tuned, for watching through to the end. You know, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment. I really love your comments. Like, I love all the comments. And subscribe if you haven't already. In the description box is a list of my services. I offer like one-on-one coaching, email coaching, workbook, meditation, all kinds of stuff. I do healing, I do readings. Take a look through my website. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.